okay? So number one, like most of the things I'm going to share with you have to do with water. I love water therapy. It's really inexpensive and very easy to use as a therapy. So number one is a hot shower or a steam inhalation, okay? So when you're in the shower, you are hot water specifically. It's hydrating. It's breaking up the congestion within your lungs. All right, so a hot shower is wonderful. Another way to add to your hot shower is to use Bronner's eucalyptus oil wash or peppermint wash. I like that one as well. So you can wash with it, or you can actually inhale the aroma of that essential oil. So that's number one. Number two would be to do a neti pot. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with the neti pot, but it's actually a nasal lavage that you actually put into one nostril and it comes out the other side, and then you would do the other side, okay? Lots of times when your nostril is blocked, I love this therapy. The way in which you do it, so sometimes it comes with a little saline drop, or you can buy some things to put into your neti pot. You don't need to do that. All you need to do is a teaspoon of salt and add a half of a teaspoon of baking soda. This is going to buffer it so that your nose doesn't burn from the salt and the hot water. Make sure that that water is not too hot. Make sure it's not too cold. Hot's going to burn your nasal concha, and the cold will actually get into your ear and other cavities and make you a little bit dizzy, okay? So a neti pot is my second recommendation. That is actually going to moisten the nasal concha. This is your first line of defense. I talked about this in the video about prevention. So it is the first line, meaning that viruses, bacteria, all those things are coming in when you're inhaling. So you need to keep it moist so that it can actually catch the bacteria and the viruses and things like that. Make sure you're blowing your nose. This goes with prevention, all right? But if you can do the neti pot, this helps to moisten the nasal concha. Number three is hydration. Hydrate. This is my favorite. You guys know it. It's Essentia. It's overachieving water. I like it because it is alkalinized, which is pH of 9.5 or above. Really anything 7.5 and above is alkalinized. But this one actually has electrolytes in it. So even when you're having just a chest cold or coughing, honey, it tires you out. It makes you tired and weak, right? So if you're weak, that usually means that you are losing electrolytes. All right, so this has electrolytes in it. It doesn't have the sugar in it that Gatorade and Propel and some of the other sports drinks would have. When you're adding sugar constantly with those other sports drinks, that's just going to make you even more dehydrated, believe it or not, okay? So hydration is another thing that actually, even though you're taking it in through your mouth, it actually works on the nasal concha as well as a first line defense. Plus, when you're breathing in, a lot of times your nose is stuffy and you're having to breathe through your mouth. So this is another first line defense when you have a cold or flu type thing going on. You're breathing through your mouth. It needs to stay moist so that the bacteria is captured. Okay, so that's number three. Number three is hydration. Number four, what do I always talk about, Vital Ones? Sleep, 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 and more sleep. Okay, when you're sleeping, your body is healing itself. Between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., you need to be asleep. This is when your body makes the master hormone called melatonin. Melatonin is needed because it is when your body's healing itself. It's your immune system, your vital force, your natural ability to heal itself. If you can get 2 extra hours in that you normally wouldn't get in, it's amazing what good that is going to do you, okay? If you can take the day off of work, awesome. If you can take a half a day off of work, awesome. Thanks for joining, guys. Share, type in the comments, let me know you're here. All right, so that was number 4, sleep. Number 5, gargle with warm, salty water. I know you guys hear this all the time. I'm sure your grandma told you this, right? So if you're gargling with warm, salty water, so that's going to be, you just got a glass of hot water. You're going to put about a tablespoon of salt. It needs to be salty, okay? And you can actually add in a pinch of turmeric to kind of like make it more anti-inflammatory. You're gonna gargle, let it slide down your throat a little bit, gargle, and then spit it out, okay? It's okay to swallow a little bit. You're gonna do that 3 to 4 times a day. It's doing the same thing as that heat and the steam from the shower. It's breaking up the congestion within the chest area. Number 6 is chicken soup. Okay, there's a reason why grandma and great grandma and the grandma before them used to make you chicken soup. Okay, so I have some specific ingredients that I like for homemade chicken soup. One, you need to use the whole chicken. We need the bone. Bone broth has marrow in it, which has healing properties in it. Number 2, you need to add garlic. Garlic is antiviral, antibacterial. You need to add mushrooms, antifungus, and also anti-inflammatory. You need to add some onions. They have quercetin in them, and they're also antiviral and help with immune properties. I like carrots added in there for the vitamin A as well. So those are the basics. So mushrooms, onion, garlic, and carrots. Those are the 4, and the chicken, the whole chicken. The 5 things that must be in your chicken soup. However else you want to do it is fine with me. I add lots of herbs, usually like an Italian blend. The thyme, the rosemary, all of those things that are in an Italian blend really have medicinal properties. I use the soup as a medicine for my family, okay? So that was number 6. And number 7 is tea tree oil, okay? Any kind of essential oil, you know I love essential oils, but tea tree oil is specifically for cold and flu. So what I like to do is you have a diffuser, and you're just gonna put a couple of drops in there, and then you're going to diffuse it. Therefore, you're getting an inhalation of it. It's going to break up bacteria, viruses, those type of things. And it's very easy, it's very inexpensive, and something that you can just do while you're working in your office or while you're at home, okay? So number 7 is tea tree oil in a diffuser. You can also like put it on neat or put it in a carrier oil, put it underneath your feet, something like that. So let me give you some bonuses for solutions for the cold and flu and chest cold and that kind of nasty stuff. So number 1 is if you have access to an infrared sauna. An infrared sauna actually penetrates the cells deep into the cellular layer and helps to detox and break things up. Number 2 are warming socks. My husband hates this. You actually going to wring out a pair of very thin trouser socks. You're going to wet them, wring them out really good, put them into the freezer for about 10 minutes. When you're going to sleep, you need to warm your feet up. You're going to put those cold socks on your feet, put a layer of wool socks, or at least 60 to 70% wool, or 2 pairs of tube socks on top of them, and go to sleep. What happens is your body says, oh my God, my feet are cold, and I have to warm it up. So your body actually pulls the congestion and all of that sludge down. It's got a derivative effect. It warms the socks, and it actually helps to break up the congestion in your chest. Okay. Number 3 is constitutional hydrotherapy. So my Vital Ones know about this. They do their own hydrotherapy in the shower, which is alternating hot and cold in the shower. But if you actually come to the office, I'm going to use sine wave. I'm actually going to do the therapy of alternating hot and cold to increase your circulation and to actually constitutionally get into your cells. Hey, Dr. Lisa, thanks for joining. So the 3 bonuses are infrared sauna, number 2 is warming socks, and number 3 is constitutional hydrotherapy. All right, so let me go over my 7 tips, or my 7 solutions for the nasty chest cold that's going around, or at least I'm seeing it go around. Number 1 is hot showers or steam inhalation. I would love for you to add in some eucalyptus, Bronner's wash in the eucalyptus, so you can inhale as you're getting the congestion broken up by the hot water. Number 2 is a neti pot. You have to keep those nasal concha moistened. They're your first line of defense. When you're breathing in, you don't want the bacteria and viruses to go down into your lungs. If they're nice and moistened the way that they're supposed to be, they will trap everything. Make sure you're blowing your nose. So the neti pot should be 1 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. That buffers it, okay? Thanks honey, for writing it down. So number 2 is neti pot. Number 3 is hydration. Keep yourself hydrated, guys. You have to have those electrolytes in you to keep you not fatigued. The cold can wear you out. I know for me, when I get a cold, I'm not a very fun person when I'm sick, okay? I just want to sleep. One, I know that sleep is really wonderful for you, but also I'm really tired and it drains your energy. It takes everything out of you. Hydration is key. You need a water with some electrolytes in it. It also is one of those first line barriers. So when you're, sorry guys, it's your throat, right? So just like you need to protect your nose and your nasal content, you need to protect your throat as well. So stay hydrated with something warm, with something to drink. You can also have hot beverages, hot tea, maybe coffee, depending upon your blood type. But I like green tea specifically if you're dealing with some type of, or honey, lemon, and hot water. I'm sure you guys have heard of that. That's great for the cold and flu as well. So number 3 was hydration. Number 4 is sleep. You gotta sleep, guys. Try to get in at least 2 extra hours of sleep if you can get an extra half a day of sleep, or if you can take the day off. Melatonin is the master hormone of the immune system, okay? Yes, mint tea, honey. That's a good one. I like mint tea. So between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. is where your body makes that melatonin, the master hormone for the immune system. Sleep is important, guys. You got to keep your energy up and your body heals itself when it's asleep, okay? Get your rest. That was number 4. Number 5 is you need to gargle with warm, salty water. So warm salty water should be 1 tablespoon of salt, preferably sea salt, and you're gonna add a pinch of turmeric. The turmeric actually helps with the anti-inflammation. The salt is gonna scrub the throat and make sure you're getting rid of that debris and the gunk and the mucus that's in there, okay? Like Mucinex, like, you know, the commercial where they have the little, anyway. Okay, that was number 5. Gargle with hot, warm, salty water. That breaks up the congestion, and you're gonna do that 3 to 4 times a day. So number 5 is gargle. Number 6, chicken soup, homemade chicken soup. 5 ingredients that are a must. It must be whole chicken because you need the bone. You need the bone for the marrow, which has immune properties in it, okay? That's bone broth. Number 2 is garlic for the anti-viral, anti-parasitic, antibacterial, all of the properties of the garlic. Onion for the quercetin, carrots for the vitamin A, and mushrooms are what I like for the fungal part of it. All right, so that was number 6. Number 7 is tea tree oil. Tea tree, okay? As an essential oil, you're gonna put it in a diffuser, and you're just gonna let the steam go. And it is antiviral, antiparasitic, antibacterial. It's a fantastic way to inexpensively, non-invasive therapy. So I never have my necklace on when I'm doing this, but you can get a diffuser necklace, you can get a diffuser bracelet, you can actually put a little bit on yourself, but tea tree is a great way to fight the chest cold.